Welcome back to Historical Odyssey, dear viewers. We're thrilled to have you with us on another thrilling journey into the past. Today, we're turning the pages back to a time of kings and battles, philosophers and visionaries, to an era that was shaped by one of the most extraordinary figures in history, Alexander the Great. Born to a royal lineage, raised under the tutelage of Aristotle, and destined for unparalleled greatness, Alexander's life is a tale that continues to captivate us even after more than 2 millennia. So buckle up, dear viewers, as we embark on an unforgettable odyssey into the life and times of this legendary leader. From his birth to his early life, his ascension to the throne, his military genius, his conquest of Persia, and finally, his enduring legacy, we'll cover it all. Stay tuned, and let's dive into history together. Before we delve further into Alexander's extraordinary journey, we'd like to take a moment to thank all our viewers. Your support is what fuels our passion for bringing these historical tales to life. If you're enjoying this odyssey so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our future expeditions into the annals of history. And if there's a particular historical figure or era you'd like us to explore next, do let us know in the comments section below. Your feedback helps us create better content tailored to your interests. Now back to our tale. As Aristotle's pupil, Alexander was not just learning about philosophy and politics, he was also being prepared for the great adventure that lay ahead. For every hero there comes a call to adventure, a moment that sets them on their path to greatness. For Alexander, this came in the form of his father's death. The unexpected assassination of King Philip II thrust the young Alexander into a world of chaos and uncertainty. But rather than succumbing to the turmoil, Alexander seized this opportunity to step into his destiny. This was the beginning of his ascension to the throne, and the start of an unforgettable odyssey that would change the course of history. But that's a tale for the next scene. Stay tuned. What if I told you that a boy born over 2 millennia ago would grow up to change the world? Yes, we're talking about Alexander the Great, a name that resounds with power, conquest, and visionary leadership. In the year 356 before the Common Era, a baby's first cry echoed through the royal chambers of Pella, a city in the heartland of ancient Macedonia. This was no ordinary child. He was the son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias, born into a lineage of power and ambition. His name was Alexander, and he was destined for greatness. As a royal scion, Alexander was privileged to receive an education under none other than the renowned philosopher Aristotle. Imagine being tutored by one of the greatest minds of the era. Aristotle nurtured Alexander's intellect, instilling in him a love for knowledge, literature, and philosophy. But it was not just his mind that was being crafted. Alexander's physical prowess was also honed, for he was a prince expected to lead in battle. From an early age, young Alexander showed signs of his future military genius. There were tales of him taming a wild horse at the tender age of 12, a feat that astounded those who witnessed it. This was but a glimpse of the determination, courage, and leadership that lay within him, traits that would later define his rule and his conquests. But life wasn't all about war games and philosophical debates for young Alexander. He grew up in a court riddled with power struggles and intrigue, a world where alliances shifted like sand dunes and where one needed to be as cunning as a fox to survive. These experiences no doubt played a significant role in shaping the astute leader he would become. But little did the world know, the real journey of this young prince was just about to begin. What happens when a 20-year-old inherits a kingdom and an army? In Alexander's case, he created an empire. In the year 336 BC, the world of young Alexander was turned upside down. His father, King Philip II of Macedon, was assassinated, leaving a power vacuum in the heart of Macedonia. But Alexander was not just any ordinary young man, he was a prince, trained under the renowned philosopher Aristotle, bred for leadership and warfare. So at the tender age of 20, he ascended to the throne, stepping into his father's shoes as the king of Macedonia. Alexander's inheritance was not just a kingdom, but a formidable Macedonian army as well. This was an army honed by his father's reforms. An army that had tasted victory and knew the discipline of the battlefield. It was a force to be reckoned with, and now it was under Alexander's command. But the young king inherited more than just a crown and an army. He inherited a dream. A vision of grandeur that had been his father's. This was the dream to conquer the Persian Empire, the largest empire the world had known at that time. It was a dream that had remained unfulfilled in King Philip's lifetime. With the throne beneath him and an army before him, Alexander had the means to pursue this dream. He had the confidence of youth, the courage of a warrior, and the wisdom of a king. He had the makings of a great leader, and he was ready to carve his own path to glory. The ascension of Alexander to the throne was more than just a change in leadership. It was the dawn of a new era, one that would see the rise of an empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt and far beyond. It was the beginning of a journey that would take Alexander to the ends of the known world and make him a legend for all time. With his father's dream in his heart and an army at his command, Alexander was ready to make history. From the Battle of Granicus to the mystery of the Gordian knot, Alexander began to show the world his military genius. With the throne under his command and the mighty Macedonian army at his disposal, Alexander set his sights on a formidable adversary, the Persian Empire. In 334 BC he launched his audacious invasion, igniting a series of battles that would echo through the annals of history. The Battle of Granicus was Alexander's first major encounter with the Persian forces. Facing a formidable enemy on the opposite bank of the Granicus River, Alexander did not hesitate. With strategic sophistication and undaunted courage, he led his men across the river and into the fray. The Macedonian phalanx, a formation of spearmen known for its penetrative force, clashed with the Persian front, while Alexander and his companions targeted the Persian commanders. The outcome was a decisive victory, a testament to Alexander's military acumen and his ability to inspire his men in the face of daunting odds. Alexander's journey then led him to the city of Gordium, home to an ancient prophecy. The Gordian knot, an intricate tangle of rope, was said to hold a promise. He who could untie it would become the ruler of all Asia. Many had tried and failed, but Alexander approached the challenge with his characteristic audacity. When he couldn't find the end of the knot, he drew his sword and sliced it in two. Whether this was a clever solution or a reckless disregard for the rules, it symbolized Alexander's determination to transcend conventional boundaries on his quest for greatness. The victories continued to mount as Alexander marched through Asia Minor. City after city fell to his relentless campaign. At Issus, he faced the Persian king Darius III in a pitched battle and emerged victorious. Undeterred by the formidable walls of Tyre, he constructed a causeway to breach the island city, demonstrating an innovative approach to sieges that was ahead of his time. Each victory was not just a testament to Alexander's military genius, but also a step towards fulfilling his father's dream of conquering the Persian Empire. Yet, for Alexander, this was more than just a mission of conquest. It was a journey of relentless ambition, a test of his leadership, and a testament of his visionary approach to warfare. Alexander was not just a king but a military genius, a visionary who was carving out his path to greatness. His audacious strategies, his indomitable spirit, and his insatiable thirst for victory had begun to etch his name in the annals of history. And as he stood on the brink of further conquests, the world could only watch in awe, waiting to see where Alexander's Odyssey would lead him next. The Battle of Gaugamela was not just a battle, it was the turning point in Alexander's Odyssey of conquest. In 331 BC, the young Macedonian king faced off against the Persian king Darius III on the arid plains of Gaugamela. Despite being significantly outnumbered, Alexander's tactical brilliance shone through. He led his troops in a daring charge straight at Darius, causing the Persian line to crumble and Darius himself to flee the battlefield. This decisive victory marked the beginning of the end for the once mighty Persian Empire. Alexander, however, was not content with merely defeating his enemies. He wanted to absorb their lands, their wealth, and their culture into his own burgeoning empire. So he set his sights on the heart of Persia, the magnificent cities of Babylon and Persepolis. The capture of these cities didn't just mean the acquisition of immense wealth and strategic geographical locations. It was a symbolic act signifying the transfer of power from the old Persian Empire to the new Macedonian hegemony. Babylon, the city of the gods, fell without much resistance. The Babylonians, weary of Persian rule, welcomed Alexander as a liberator. The city's vast wealth and strategic location made it a jewel in Alexander's crown. But it was Persepolis, the ceremonial capital of Persia, that truly symbolized the end of an era. Alexander's troops swept through the city, seizing its treasures and setting its palaces ablaze. The once great Persian Empire was no more. Yet, Alexander's ambitions knew no bounds. Even as he consolidated his hold over Persia, he was already planning his next campaign, an expedition into the unknown lands of India. He was driven by a relentless desire for knowledge, for discovery, and for conquest. He wanted to reach the very ends of the earth, to see what lay beyond the known world. This expedition into India proved to be one of Alexander's most challenging campaigns. He faced formidable opponents, like the Indian king Porus, who met him at the banks of the Hydaspes River. The battle was fierce, with both sides suffering heavy losses. But in the end, Alexander's superior tactics and the sheer tenacity of his troops secured yet another victory. Alexander's conquest of Persia was a remarkable feat. In just a few years he had toppled one of the greatest empires of the ancient world and established his own rule over vast territories. His audacious military strategies, his visionary leadership, and his insatiable thirst for conquest had transformed him from a young Macedonian king into a world conqueror. But as Alexander's empire grew, so did the challenges that lay ahead. His success had brought him immense power and wealth, but it had also sown the seeds of discontent among his troops, strained his relations with his allies, and stoked the fires of rebellion in the lands he had conquered. These challenges would test Alexander's leadership in the years to come, shaping his legacy in ways he could never have imagined. In 323 BC, the world lost a great conqueror, but Alexander's legacy was far from over. When Alexander breathed his last in the city of Babylon, the empire he had built was left leaderless and in disarray. The vast territories he had conquered spread from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India, an empire unparalleled in size and diversity for its time. His sudden demise sparked a bitter power struggle among his generals, known as the Diadochi, who vied to fill the power vacuum. After years of conflict, the empire was carved up among his most influential generals. Ptolemy took control of Egypt, turning it into a powerful Hellenistic kingdom. Seleucus seized the vast territories of the east, founding the Seleucid Empire, while Antigonus ruled over Macedonia and Greece. Though his empire was fractured, the kingdoms that emerged from the ashes of Alexander's conquests were testament to the scale of his achievements. But Alexander's legacy went beyond the borders of his empire. His conquests led to the spread of Greek culture, a period known as Hellenism, across the regions he had conquered. From the statues of Greek gods in the heart of Egypt to the Greek-style architecture in the far reaches of the East, the influence of Hellenism was profound and lasting. This cultural fusion shaped the development of the arts, philosophy, and science, leaving an indelible mark on the world. Alexander's vision of a united empire, where different cultures and peoples coexisted and learned from one another, was revolutionary for its time. It paved the way for the rise of cosmopolitan cities like Alexandria in Egypt, which became a beacon of learning and culture. Yet Alexander's impact was not confined to the realms of culture and politics. His military strategies and tactics have been studied by military leaders and scholars for centuries. His innovative use of the phalanx, his ability to exploit the enemy's weaknesses, and his knack for turning the tide of battle in his favor, have become legendary. His leadership style, his charisma, his fearlessness, all have served as a model for future leaders. Despite his untimely death, Alexander's vision and ambition continued to shape the course of history. He became a symbol of conquest and a model for future leaders. His legacy, like the man himself, was larger than life. It spanned continents and cultures, transcending the boundaries of his time. Alexander's story is more than just an epic tale of conquest and ambition. It's a testament to the power of vision, the pursuit of greatness, and the enduring impact one individual can have on the course of history. His legacy serves as a reminder of what can be achieved when ambition and determination are coupled with visionary leadership. Alexander the Great, a king, a military genius, a visionary leader, left a legacy that continues to shape the world. Alexander the Great's life was a remarkable odyssey of conquest and ambition. This iconic figure, born in the ancient city of Pella, Macedonia, went on to etch his name in the annals of history with his unparalleled military genius and visionary leadership. Alexander's journey started as a young prince being tutored by Aristotle, to becoming a king at the tender age of 20, and finally evolving into the legendary conqueror we know today. His ambition knew no bounds. With a formidable Macedonian army at his disposal, Alexander embarked on a series of campaigns that would see him topple the mighty Persian Empire, capture key cities like Babylon and Persepolis, and even venture into the unknown territories of India. His victories were not just a testament to his tactical brilliance but also a symbol of his unyielding determination and drive. But Alexander's influence extended far beyond the battlefield. His conquests led to the spread of Hellenism, blending Greek culture with those of the regions he conquered. This cultural fusion had far-reaching effects, shaping the social, political, and artistic landscapes of these regions for centuries to come. Alexander's legacy did not end with his untimely death in 323 BC. His empire, although divided among his generals, continued to bear the imprint of his leadership. His story inspired future leaders and conquerors who looked to Alexander as a model of military prowess and strategic ingenuity. Indeed, Alexander's life was more than just a tale of conquest. It was an extraordinary journey of a man driven by a vision to change the world. His relentless pursuit of this vision against all odds serves as a testament to his indomitable spirit. In the end, Alexander the Great was not just a king or a conqueror, he was a visionary, a leader, and a symbol of ambition and determination. His story serves as a powerful reminder of how one individual's vision can change the course of history. His legacy continues to be celebrated and studied to this day, a testament to the enduring influence of this legendary figure.